Okay, so this is the Icom IC706. So this is the first one that they ever released, and it's you know what, they weren't bad for their time. Obviously, it was then superseded by the 706 Mark II and then the Mark II-G. So there was a few differences as they went through. But the 706 was always a good little radio, just for, and especially these days because of the price point. They're normally, you know, sort of $500 to $600, probably closer to, excuse me, $5. And yeah, they're a lovely radio actually for what you're getting for value for money. Now the 706 was pretty easy to get around. Band was actually controlled by the little TS control here, so you hit that the first time round and it went through its band. So obviously starting off at 160 meters, then floated through 80 meters, etc, etc. So it was just a spin of the VFO and you would bring yourself up. Yep, okay, so for some reason I got 15 megs in there, interesting. 18, and you can actually set up your bands. You can actually get it to remember. Now keep in mind this one does 6 meters, 50 megs, 100 watts there, and from memory, we'll check this in a second, we need to change antenna ports when we do that too, but on 2 meters, 50 watts from memory. Now bearing in mind this is the model that doesn't do 70 centimeters, which we're not too worried about in this particular scenario. Alright, so then you can move your little increment across to the, so that will basically just then change quite fast, and then you're back to slow like so there. So pretty easy to run through. Speaking of slow, don't mind me, I'm running slow myself. Unfortunately I've been pretty unhealthy for a while, and just still sort of coming back from a few things at the moment, and it's not COVID-19. Thank God. Anyway, it's still a bit slow my side, so please excuse me if I make any errors or seem like I'm running on a little bit slow. But let's just have a little look. Let's put on 7.1, put in about 1.5 microvolts there, and let's just take that down to 0.5, which is hearing 0.5 nicely, so it's not too bad. Yeah, I would dare say that we'll go that little bit more, or just hearing it at 0.05. Actually, that's not bad. S9, 50 microvolts. That's about where we'd expect it to be. Let's turn that noise off. Now, instead of giving you my hello 1, 2, 3, 4 whistles that never work, and I doubt today that they're going to work, let's just put in an FM for a moment. Let's have a look at the transmit power on this thing. 100.3 watts, so it is on the knocker. So that's yeah, that's doing quite well for. I mean, this is not a new radio. This is a possibly getting on to now. I'm guessing. I reckon 2002, 2003. So 17, 18 years old. Look, you know, you guys can make comments on that. So I'm just trying to remember now, but. Look, they were very good. One of the other things I forgot to mention too, there is a preamp on them as well. So as you can see, preamp in on FM. That's attenuator there. Sorry, preamp there. When you hold it in, sorry, when you hold it in, the red button light comes on, and that becomes an attenuator. So that's working well. All right, so that's good. On 6 meters, we don't have to change antennas. We can basically, and I've already gone through and, whoops, sorry about that. I've already gone through and, I'm going well here, and checked all the HF bands, and it's doing very well. So we're going to go up to 6 meters, and we're going to put onto FM for a look to see what it does on 50 megs. We might actually just change the frequency first, actually. Righto, so we'll just try that again. On 50 megs, about 80 watts, which is not bad. Not bad for this old girl, actually. I think at their peak they might have done closer to 90, 95 watts, but that's still not too bad. Let's just see if we can receive anything. Oh, yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. And we'll just... just in there. And a little bit better at around 0.6 there, so that's not too bad. And then if we take it up to 50 microvolts, just over S9 actually. That's with no preamp on. Obviously preamp there works effectively on 6 meters of course, and the attenuator like so. So that's good. Yep. All right. So excellent. Now we have to change the antenna port because when we go to 2 meters, I told you I was going slow today. When we go to 2 meters, it does use the rear antenna port on the bottom. Okay, so you will need to change that, and you'll see that marked there on the bottom there. HF50 on the top one, antenna 2 is 144 megs, so we'll just swap that over. Now these things were known for being pretty sensitive on 2 meters, very sensitive actually. As you can see, I'm putting 50 microvolts in at the moment, and it's taking to it very well. And you'll find that as I knock that down, I'll just take that squelch off, it's receiving absolutely noise-free just about at 0.5 a microvolt, about 130, minus 113 dBm. So yeah, look, nice. And let's just turn that irritating noise off, and we should be getting around about 10 watts out of this here. And we've got 10.5 watts, so that is good. That's doing what it should do, and very happy with that. Obviously, you also had full sideband usage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and you've got as we didn't want to do that. It's all right. It'll be right. Oh, sorry. Good point. Some of the other functions, you do have menu, so you can go in through your menu display here, memory write, and then memory to VFO memory you can toggle between, etc., etc. Noise blanker, obviously. Meter functions, so you can actually change that to SWR, ALC, or power output. So it pretty much mimics, well, it was the start of all the features for the 706 Mark II series, or 706 series, Mark II and Mark II-G. But they just were a good all-rounder. They really were. This one's heading up to a mate of mine, Bob, to chuck into a vehicle, and it's the perfect radio. You know, look, as I said, look, it's your $500 special that doesn't cost a lot of money, gives you all HF 6 meters and 2 meters as well. You are missing 70 centimeters, but you know, a lot of people don't really complain too much about that. That it's really, I always say though, run compression on with these. They do need a bit more drive. The Mark II and Mark II-G did come out with a sort of a little bit more drive in the ALC department, but I always tend to suggest to people just run your compression on. Apart from that, you can obviously hook them up to Codan antennas and just run them through the tuner through there, which is hold the button down, not the call button, so it'd be that one there, but it's not going to recognize it right now without having the antenna on there. And let's just take it back to anywhere really. 7 meg sounds good, and once again we can then just bring that back to 7.1. Beautiful. So that's the 706, the base 706. So as I said, they came with these HM103 mics. They're quite a nice little mic, and they've frequency etc on top, lock buttons too, so that you can lock out the functions. And I'm just trying to think of anything else I haven't sort of mentioned about this. Display will change you into different areas of your menus. As you can see here, it's going into the S series and the G series, and all a little bit of fun to play around with. You do have a VFO control on the side here, so that stiffens it up, and it just gives it a little bit of your ability to calibrate that to be how you like it. And of course you can lock it from the front here so that nothing moves, etc. If you're in a bit of a bumpy environment, or you've you know, just forever knocking things. All right, well, once again, thanks for having a look at this video on the IC706. We've got a lot of stuff to catch up on. My apologies, it's been a few weeks. It's just been hospitals and surgeries and lots of stuff going on, and my body just doesn't cooperate as well as I'd like it to these days, but still, the passion's still there. It's just a matter of, you know, getting in there and making it happen. So I'm a bit OCD too. I sort of can't leave that on. That I need to put on zeros. Looks better. All right, 73s to you from VK3CM JDW229. Please subscribe, and I promise you we'll get a few more videos up soon. I'm dying to do, actually I'll show you a preview. Dying to do one on this one here, so this will come up soon. It's like brand new in the box. So we go from amateur radio back to 1970s CB radio that Sharp put out all those years ago. So we'll get that out of the box soon, I'm sure. All right, all the best, and thanks for having a look at the IC706. For some reason, I always want to call these things a Mark IIG. I just, I got to stop myself. Anyway, all the best, and we'll be talking to you on here soon, I'm sure. Cheers.